Okay, hello. Thank you for watching. I'm Roshelle Jones, psychology instructor at Aiken Technical College. And this is the final part of the College Prep Seminar 2020, focusing on scholarships. If you haven't done so already, please view our previous live stream that we had on June 13th, where I talked about my college experiences, and we also shared some information on support services. Again, that was on June 13th. You can actually view that from the Aiken Technical College Facebook page. Now we will have Melinda, who's the founder of Pay Scholarship Academy. She's going to provide some valuable scholarship information.
So good afternoon, everyone in the Aiken area and surrounding areas. My name is Melinda Mihlbauer. Most of my students call me Miss M, and I am the founder of Pay Scholarship Academy. And I always like to tell people a little bit about how I got started with the program. So by day, my full-time job, I work as a professional school counselor, high school counselor in Dorchester County. I used to work in Darlington County and did a little bit with the whole scholarship process for my students at Lamar High School and my church members, and also with my brother and sister. And my brother and sister were able to get a number of scholarships, as well as my church members and students as well. But it wasn't until I transitioned to Dorchester at Woodland High School where I really put a lot of time and effort into just investigating all the scholarship opportunities that are out there. And then I partnered with some programs and learned about those opportunities, as well as college and institutional funding as well. So my oldest daughter, and I'll use her as examples in our presentation today. With my students and my church members, I also tried this whole process with my oldest daughter, but we started in middle school. So a lot of parents and students are always asking me, things about what they can do in 11th and 12th grade. But we believe in starting as early as possible, even though we say it's never too late to start the scholarship process. And so when I talk about starting the process in middle and high school, early high school, I mean, teaching them the importance of volunteering in their school and community, being a well-rounded student, joining those multiple clubs and organizations as well, not just solely focusing on maybe a sport or just one club or organization. And so we did that in middle school. We did that 9th, 10th, and 11th grade. She won a few scholarships in 9th, 10th, and 11th grade, but the bulk of her scholarships helped her get a total of 63 scholarships when she graduated from Sumter High School. And she also received 13 full ride offers. The thing we love to share with parents and students about our journey is that Chanel was not a Val or a Sal or a top 10 or a top 20 student. She did very well at Sumter High School. She graduated with 39 college credits. Of course, Sumter High is a really big school, very competitive. But she, was able to find other ways to get those scholarships. And the main way was being that well-rounded student. So she played varsity volleyball, but she was a part of multiple clubs and organizations, not only just in the school, but in the community as well, in virtual organizations as well. She did a lot of volunteer work through the school and in the community as well. So being that well-rounded student, making sure that she looked good on paper, allowed her to get more scholarships than the Val and the Sal and the top 10 and the top 20 students in the school. So we used what we learned through our journey, and we started Pay Scholarship Academy. And I'm here to tell parents and students, when I share this information, when I share our journey, we don't let parents leave thinking that it is easy. There are times when parents, your children will probably not talk to you. They'll be mad at you. You'll probably be mad at them. But in the end, when you do not have to pay for college or not have to pay as much for college, it makes it, better. And my daughter shares that in her, with her journey as well, when she's able to go with me with some of the workshops. So I wanted to share with you some of the programs that we offer before I give you guys some tips. But we offer scholarship boot camps. We offer essay writing boot camps, and we offer extreme boot camps where we combine our essay writing and our scholarship boot camp together. People do not believe that there are many pieces of the puzzle that you have to put together in order to be able to successfully search, apply, and ultimately win scholarships for school. We also offer annually our statewide scholarship and college fair for parents and students. It looks a little bit like a college fair, but we bring in not only colleges and universities, but we bring in scholarship organizations that are allowing parents and students to meet with them face to face to find out what it takes to win one of their scholarships. We give away laptops at those events. We give away printers and books and gift cards, and it's a free event each year as long as you register by the deadline. Things may look a little different, of course, for 2021, but we are patiently waiting to see how that will look. And so Rochelle asked me to come on today to kind of give you guys some tips, their audience some tips on how you can better prepare your students. So we're not only targeting our middle and high school students, but those students from class of 2020 who've now graduated from high school and moving on, even for current college students and graduate school students. People always think that once you graduate from high school that the opportunities for scholarships are over, and that's definitely not true. There are still thousands and thousands of scholarships that are available for students in college and graduate school as well. So I want to share some tips with you guys today. So I hope you have a pen and paper handy so I can give you a few tips just how you can get started. There's a process to it. First thing, you have to get organized. If you're not organized, you will not be successful in this process. And I say that because there are so many scholarships out there with different deadlines. There are certain things that some scholarship organizations will ask for that others are not asking for. So the better prepared you are, the more you can actually apply for multiple scholarships each week. So, if you ever follow us on Facebook at Paid Scholarship Academy, we're always sharing testimonies from our students who've won, $40, $50, $60,000 for a scholarship, or who've won 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 scholarships. These students are very well organized. They will tell you there are so many scholarships out there that they had to find a way to get organized. I always suggest for students to get a binder. I think when Chanel graduated, we probably had about 9 binders, but get a binder and get organized. Put things in your binders such as your ACT and your SAT scores. And I say that because as a counselor, my students sometimes forget their usernames and passwords to College Board and ACT. And so if you have that information in your binders, or if you have them on your laptop or your desktop in a folder, then you can just print them off or make copies as you need. Also, we show students and parents, well, actually the students in the boot camps, how to create a success resume, which looks a little different than a job resume. And it's just highlighting all the great things that you have done from 8th grade through 12th grade, and even for college students as well. We also recommend that you keep copies of your recommendation letters in your binder as well. Keep a copy of your transcript, your most up-to-date copy of your transcript in your binder. Sometimes if you're actively applying for scholarships, there may be an organization that will say, what's your GPA on the 4.0 scale, or your weighted GPA, or how many honors or AP or IB classes have you taken so far? And so if you have access to your transcript, you can easily go ahead and complete that section on that scholarship application as well. And then we also, if you have the opportunity to get those paper applications, you want to keep up with them in an organized fashion. So I always recommend go to Sam's or Walmart or Target or even the Dollar Tree or Dollar General and get those sheet protectors and put those paper applications in those sheet protectors. I always believe that neatness will give you some brownie points as well for those scholarship applications. I never let my students submit anything with folded or bent corners. I never let the students submit anything with purple or orange ink or even pencil. Blue or black ink is always safe. I love when you have the opportunity to type out your application. If you have that PDF filler that you can actually submit a typewritten application as well. So it's all about preparing to submit a very well and neat scholarship application. Essays. That's probably one of the biggest reasons, next to missing deadlines. Your essays are probably one of the biggest reasons why students are not receiving multiple scholarships or even any scholarships. I had a conversation with a parent the other day. She said her daughter's not receiving any scholarships. And one of the things I asked was, who's reading her essays? And her mother said, well, I am. And I just suggested that you may want to get a few other people to read the essays. I used to rely on my English teacher at the high school where I work. I relied on retired educators from our church to review Chanel's essays as well. But you want to have multiple people on your team to help you read these essays, even your college applications or even your scholarship applications. Sometimes when you make a mistake or you misspell a word, that will stand out to a scholarship organization. I had a student just the other week that spelled sophomore wrong, incorrectly. And that stood out to me, and I didn't read the rest of her something she had to submit for me as well. And you never know with the scholarship organization, when you submit something and the very first paragraph has 14 mistakes, no one is going to read the rest of that essay, because if you can't catch 1, 2, 3, let alone 14 mistakes in the essay, then they're figuring you're not putting that much time and effort into this scholarship application. So why should they give their money to you? And so those are just a few tips that I wanted to share, but you have to stay organized. We always say that one thing we always say is full rides are possible, but we always put in that time plus effort plus support equals success. And you have to be willing to put in the time. And I think sometimes with students, they don't realize how much time you really have to put in. So a lot of students who are dedicated to setting time aside to study or to work or to do sports, you still have to put that amount of time away or to the side to do scholarships if you plan to be successful. A number of our students, they probably do, between 7 to 10 scholarships each week. Some students do more than that. I had one student, though, believe it or not, they did one scholarship as application, which was to Questbridge, and he has a full ride to Yale. But again, there's a lot of work that you have to put in just for that Questbridge application. There are a number of rounds that he had to go through and interviews and just a number of things to prepare for that full ride to Yale. So just be prepared. Even scholarship interviews or coming up with a hook. These are all of the things that we teach in our boot camps. People will approach you over and over again. What are your plans after high school? What are your plans after college? And so you want to come up with that intro or that hook that's going to grab that scholarship organization's attention, especially if you have to go through a scholarship interview. So, if you're not sure, what you want to do, or if you can't even pronounce the major that you're interested in, if you're tongue-tied with that, sometimes that's going to lose their interest as well. So, the more that you practice, I always say get in front of a mirror and come up with your intro and rehearse that over and over again in order to better prepare when you actually go into a scholarship interview as well. So these are a few tips. I hope that will help you guys get jump started. Again, we are on social media at Pay Scholarship Academy, same at Instagram. We will be doing our extreme boot camps this summer. So we were just waiting for a few extra dates from my English teacher that usually assists with us. So be on the lookout for that. We heavily advertise on social media. We will try to use a few other platforms since we will be virtual this year, so it's going to look a little different. We usually do a tour during the summer in several states, but everything will be done virtually this year. So I hope that helps. Again, follow us, if you ever have any questions. Oh, and we post scholarships daily, believe it or not, on our Facebook page. So no parent or no student could ever say, I don't know about any scholarships, or I don't know where I can find scholarship information, which is not true if you follow our page, because we literally post 1, 2, sometimes even 3 scholarships daily on our page. So if you ever go back on our timeline for the past year, you will find literally 365 scholarships, if not more, on our Facebook page. So I hope that helps. And I want to thank Aiken Tech and Rochelle for inviting me to speak to you guys today. And hopefully if you have any questions, we'll be able to answer those questions for you soon.
Thank you so much, Melinda, for that valuable information. I've been so eager to get this going, so I'm so glad and so happy and appreciative that we were able to finally do it. I do want to mention you all do see my stock picture there because I wasn't able to be live. So of course, I mean, that probably is great for me. But anyway, I just want to sort of add on to what Melinda was saying. Of course, I agree to everything that she said, and know, of course, patience is definitely the key to that. But again, you can start in middle school. You can start in middle school with getting scholarships. So that is awesome. But even for students that just graduated high school, if you've done nothing up to this point, there's still opportunities.
Yes.
You can contact your colleges and universities. A lot of them have a scholarship page on their website. A lot of them also have what's called a foundation office, where you can actually contact them for scholarships. And a lot of those scholarships go unclaimed. So a lot of times there's just money just sitting there, and they're just waiting for a student to apply, for this money, to go to school. So even as financial aid, if that free federal aid is not enough, there are other opportunities out there. So I do encourage students to just take the time, research these colleges and universities that you will be attending, look out for some of those scholarships. And of course, for those that haven't completed their financial aid, I do believe July the 1st, I think, is the deadline to do that. So if you just
I think it's June 30th.
June 30th, okay. So if you have just graduated from high school, and if you have not completed your financial aid application, which is usually the first step, please try and get that in by June 30th of this year if you plan to attend colleges or universities in the fall, which is usually around August. Did you want to add something to that, Melinda?
No, that's correct. And there are a lot of organizations, even the college, that will assist students. And now, we're virtual, so it's a great opportunity to help the students virtually. Now I know a number of organizations that are still helping students. Even my TRIO students are still getting assistance from the TRIO program. So just reach out to someone if you need assistance to complete your FAFSA.
Okay, and also I do want to add too, if you're a student that's planning to go to school in the fall, to a college or university, and if that college and university is really kind of trying to decide if it's going to be virtual classes, face-to-face classes, this is also the time to get prepared for that, because there are a lot of students, even for my students at Aiken Tech, we had to go basically 100% virtual when the pandemic started in March. So there were a lot of students that did not appreciate that. I mean, they were just like, oh my goodness, I have to take an online class. I've been trying to avoid online classes. So for some students, if you know that you're really not prepared to do a fully online schedule, this is also the time to start getting prepared for that. Time management, being self-sufficient, because it's going to be a lot of work that you may have to do on your own, because it's not, literally face to face. So that's another thing that you want to be mindful of. Of course, just getting that connection to those colleges and universities and just knowing who you are. For me, if you heard my story that we did on June 13th, I thought I had it all together until I walked on that college campus. So that was a huge wake-up call for me, because I was not prepared. Once I did my college career assessment, it actually tied me into these different career fields that matched my personality. I was good to go at that point. But prior to that, I was just clueless. I thought I could just figure it out on my own. So if you're one of those students that need the support, need the help, please ask for it. It's nothing wrong with that, because we definitely want you to be successful on your journey. We want you to go to college and graduate in 4 years. I don't want you to repeat my story. I want you to go in there, get out of there in 4 years, and start your professional journey. So again, we definitely hope you enjoyed this session. If you do have any comments or questions, please post those in the comment section. And of course, we're going to be sharing this, of course, to our pages. So you can also, of course, reach out to any one of us personally. If you do need some additional assistance that you don't want to share, of course, on this live stream or on the stream here. But we just want to thank you so much for your time. Thank you for watching it. And again, don't forget to follow PACE Scholarship Academy. Valuable, valuable resource. Well, thank you for your time. Have a great rest of the day.